What's up, guys? Welcome to your 198th Android tutorial. And yeah, I just waited a while. It's been like an hour or so. And if we go to our Admob account, down here where we see all of our activities that we applied for, you can see it turned green. It's still not showing ads yet. Might take, probably, I don't know, a few more hours before it actually displays the ads that we request. But it is accepting a request. So. Also if you guys apply with AdSense through this, it'll help your fill rate, so you'll display ads more often. But I believe it still should show up. Eventually they just kind of need to figure out how, the data that we're sending them and all that stuff. I believe that's my guess, and it'll appear eventually. And then what we're going to do is, so again, if you guys don't have this green highlighted button within a few hours, that's probably some sort of a problem, but give it a while. It says 2 minutes, just give it a few minutes. And another thing we can do is we can open up our starting point class, and again we gave that add a reference as well, and we're just going to set up a reference and refresh it or send a refresh so we get a fresh new ad within our application on our onCreate method. Even though we set it up in XML to be true within our onCreate, I just wanted to show you guys how to refresh an ad if you want. So again, we're just going to set up an add view type instance, and we're going to call this add. And again, we just have to set up a reference bridge. So we're just going to say add view, find view by ID, r.id.add. And then all we're going to do is say add.load add, and we're going to send a request to load a new ad. And since we don't have an ad request, we're just going to create a new one. We're just going to say new ad request. And that's going to send a new request for us. So if you have like a button that gets pressed often and you guys want to update your ad or something, you could set that up within a button or something like that. And also just a quick note, again, this starting point activity, we had two layouts, one for the horizontal layout, or I'm sorry, the landscape layout, and one for the portrait. So again, you guys want to set up your ad within here. Otherwise, when it tries to look for this ad view within the Java, if we're in the layout or the landscape mode, it's not going to be able to find that, and it's going to crash your application. So again, just make sure you guys open that up and add this reference here, and then set up your ad within there. You have the same ID as well, so your ad can find it, or your Java class can find that ad. And now I'm just going to show you guys how to add an ad through strictly Java alone. So I'm going to do that within our data class. Forgot exactly what this was. Anyway, so we have our data class, and we have this layout as get, so I'm just going to open that up as well. And it looks something like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our linear layout, or actually it's a relative layout that we use for this, and we're going to set that relative layout to have an ID as well. So we're just going to say Android ID equals at plus ID / relative or rel layout. I don't think we have an ID like that. And there we go. We just basically added a reference to our layout that controls our entire XML file. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Java, and we're just going to set that linear layout up here, or relative layout I should say. We're just going to call this RL and add our imports. And actually I'm just going to set it up within the onCreate method as well. So I'm just going to say RL equals relative layout, find view by ID, r.id.rel layout. And the reason I did that is because we're going to add add to this relative layout, and all we're going to do is we're just going to say set up another add view, and we're going to call this add as well. And all we're going to do is we're going to use the method to create the add view for us. And I'm just going to say new add view, and then within the parameters we refer to the context of the class, so we're just going to say data.this. And then for our second parameter, we're going to set up the ad size, so we're going to say ad size dot banner you guys have a few different choices you guys can mess around with, see the different sizes that you can work with. We're just going to say banner, and then we have to enter our ad ID, which I'm just making up here. And that creates, again, the ad for us. And now what we can do is, you guys probably have to put that in quotations as well. So now what we can do is we can just add to our relative layout, which we called RL, and just say add view. And then what view are we going to add? Well, we're going to add this this ad view here, so we're just going to call it add because that's what we called our ad view. And then all we're going to do is we're going to say our ad, and then again just load load ad and new ad request as well, just like I showed you guys a second ago. Again, we have to add all of our imports, but that's how we can add to a relative layout or any other kind of layout, just using this add view method on the layout itself, and it's just going to add that view to our layout.